I could have also waited for, I mean, that wouldn't have mattered. I don't know why he wouldn't have done that before. Oh, I'm not running branded in white anymore. Whoops. I would have just went down the branded fusion line. I thought the branded one white. Oh well. At least I get branded lost here. As if it really matters, honestly. It's really nice not being able to, or not having to run branded in red also. I won't lie, branded red has been one of the biggest bricks in branded for a while now. And the fact that Fallen and Virtuous just kind of does the same, like, fills that role now is really good. I'm also kind of, it's a board, but it's not really that protected up front. That's why it would have been better to go for the branded fusion line with that kind of hand. I had so much gas. Alright, well, we know what to do with this. It's probably my favorite soundtrack on the whole stream playlist. We can make good on the killer tune that we lost in Guns before. Let's pop that shit. I guess I should have gone Cartesia Chain Link 1. How many normal summons would you play, and what branded cards do you count as normal summons? I mean, I don't have an exact number. It really just depends on, like, what the card is, right? Because some cards are only normal summons half the time, so, like, those cards I weigh a little bit less as, like, a standard normal summon, like a Fallen of Albaz was. Cartesia, Ecclesia, I feel like those you can have, like, a bit more leniency with, like, calling them normal summons. Like, I don't think they necessarily are. I get fucked so badly on this. What the fuck? Oh my god. Honestly, don't know if banishing this thing is the best idea, but him drolling there is kind of funny. Like, I don't know. I'm on like, I have Mercurier plus follow-up still. I mean, he drolled me, which gets rid of the Alba Lenatus, but like, who cares? And now, yeah, exactly. Like, the branded grind game is like just way too good at this point. Just infinite value. Yeah, I mean, he's dead here. Yo, what's up, Lost Mutt? People not being on Brandon Red is still kind of a new concept to me. That card is bonkers on board piece still. I agree. I just think, like, from testing and, like, the Christia stuff, like, where it's just better than Ido. Like, I don't know if you saw my video on that, Lost Mutt, but, like, we should probably be on, like, the Favlock instead of Christia, in my opinion, just because of Fallen and the Virtuous's interaction with Ido being so terrible. And then also this card is, like, in my opinion, just a better lock because you can just respond to it. Yeah, you can do that with Sanctifier too, but as a spell and trap, it's a lot more difficult to interact with. So I agree, though. I still think it's, like, not, like, set in stone as if we're all cutting branded in red once it releases, right? I still think that's why I release a new deck profile every week. I know everyone loves that because I think you can run branded so many different ways, right? So will probably be builds till the end of the time that run branded red, I guess, until there's like objectively a better branded red. But wasting time, I'm here watching the screen. Appreciate you. Thanks, Phil, for getting all the slop questions on which simulator this is. Will you play Fleur-de-Lis Harmonia once it's out? What's Fiderillis? Oh, yeah, this card's fucking awesome, dude. I have to test with it in Branded. I don't think it's necessarily that good in Branded, but it's really cool because if your opponent activates a monster on the field, quick effect, reveal this card in the hand, reveal 5 synchro monsters from your extra deck, apply these effects in sequence based on the amount you revealed. Special summon this card, send one of them to the graveyard, destroy one monster. I mean, you have to run 6 for it to be good, so I'm not running in any branded construction 6 synchro, so probably not. Like, unless you're playing branded synchro, I'm just probably not running that. It's a very good card, but I'm much more excited about Dominus Spark. I think Dominus Spark is a 3 of in our deck. This card's absolutely insane. We should be running 3 of this card. I'm not saying this is like hardcore staple 3 of, but Dominus Spark is like easily one of the best hand traps in Branded. It's a top 5 hand trap in Branded. It's arguably a top 3 hand trap, honestly. That's gonna be hard pressed to sell since there's like fucking Bestials, Droll, Fua, Nib. Like, it's definitely, I think it's like the 5th best at least between those. I'm still on RTV, but I'm switching my brick from Christia to Christia from Ido. Yep. I just think there was like way too many random games where you could lose to an Ido interaction, and then honestly the Fallen and the Virtuous being able to like double as like a board, like this thing acts as Branded red and as a board breaker. Like, I think this is the only end board piece you really need to send the end phase. Like, I'm running Branded Retribution just in case I have something else, like I extend. But for instance, like, I'm not running Spriggan's Kit. However, I would love to run that, right? Like, I'd love to have that. I'd love to have like Tri-Brigade Spriggan's Kit too. I feel like those cards are really good. It's just like, how many bricks am I gonna run, right? Like, okay, so I'm running these now. I have to cut out Tragedy, but I still like Tragedy. So now, okay, do I just run 2 Perulia and then hope that my going second gets better? It's just kind of the struggle with this deck on some level. I'm really kind of struggling on the extra deck right now. Like, the Stapelia slot is so like nebulous. I don't know what it should be at this point. It's Yo Sebuns, thanks for subscribing on YouTube. But like at the same time, this was coming up a lot before, so might just be that. I also like how you can cut Sanctifier. I think that's one of the biggest parts of the Fallen and the Virtuous lock, is that you don't have to do it through Sanctifier. Which has, I mean, obviously like Sanctifier goes better with like Branded Lost, but you can still do like the Fav thing under Lost anyways with Cartesia. So I've been enjoying the Christia thing a lot more. Do you send off a Grand Guignol? I have a lot of videos. I'd check out if you want to see stuff like that. But, I mean, overall, it's, you know, whatever I need to at that point. I think if I'm playing Dracotel all day, I'm probably putting a Secretarion into my extra deck. I'm just not playing enough of it on Omega to justify it. If I'm going to a regional, I'm definitely gonna like consider it though. Bought Structures 3 of a Fire King Blue Eyes Branded beginner set and now Modern Decks 2026 as wasting time. Hell yeah, dude. I'm a One Piece player / MTG player. Yu-Gi-Oh beginner. Well, thanks for trying out our wonderful card game. One Piece is really cool. I've tried to get into One Piece a little here or there. I pulled like $100 card on stream, which was kind of cool, but I never sold it too. I just have that in the collection now. Should probably sell that before it loses value. I don't know, but One Piece seems kind of insane, like with value. I like One Piece though. One Piece is cool. I like the anime a lot, so I'm kind of a little bit of a collector there in that respect too. Still watch the anime a lot. Have you tried more of a synchro build? I mean, the most synchros I've had in my extra deck through testing so far has been 4. Dissipator, or I think 5, which is Lulu, Dissipator, Omega, Ecclesia, and Chaos Angel. 100%, I think Dominus will 100% be in the 75. Says Phil, yes. Phil, what do you think of the new Dominus card? Lost Mutt, what do you think of it too? Honestly, I'd be on red regardless of the resilience of the combo since Lost can't protect Fat Revive. I mean, it can if you use Cartesia, right? But then it's like, it requires 2 cards in that case, so. Nikki boy, why are my opponents not scooping after I activate 1 branded fusion? I don't know. That's really unfortunate. I mean, to be honest, I could just, like, cut the Foolish, go to this. I'm starting to see what you meant with Lost Mutt. I mean, not exactly with the Tragedy, but I feel like Tragedy, some hands you just draw Branded Fusion, you need to send Tragedy, honestly. That's, like, what's coming up for me most. I'm back and forth on the Dominus, especially because I'm biased on RTV and quick plays. Yeah. Makes sense. Also, have you guys seen how Retribution's just, like, not coming up? Like, I'm really Branded White. That's what comes up more than that. That's why I want to run. I think Branded White is still just, like, an insane card. And it just, like, combos so well with the Fallen of the White Dragon that I'm a big fan. Maybe I just take out the Gold Sarkadon, keeping the Tragedy just as, like, a good discard. I still like having these ways to play through hand traps too. I don't know, maybe just like putting the Talons and then just go like for a blowout approach. I don't know, I still want my hand traps, frankly, but it feels so weird to run hand traps like in this testing period because I don't have like I'm not consistently testing against like what the meta is going to be, so like running the hand traps will just like change depending on the build. I also think I could cut Golden Sword Soul, I guess, at this point. I just don't think it comes up enough for me to justify it. I could go to 1 Cartesia. If anything, it would be another Druid Swarm for the Lubellion, but that's why I feel so like, oh, I'm running this, so I have to run this kind of situation, which I don't really like getting into with Branded. I guess I could just take out Foolish. Yeah, this construction's looking a little bit better. Just putting the Secretary on just in case. Well, it's really more for show. What's better, red or white? I mean, it just depends. I think post-burst, there's an argument to make that white is better, but red's always been a staple in Branded, so I think it's something that you're gonna have to consider. Golden Sword Soul becomes such a great card with all these new lines. It's a very good card. All I'm saying is that it's kind of like you only need a light and dark in rotation. That's what it helps you do. Makes it a pure 1 card combo to have a 1.5 card combo, but most of the time you have another card anyway, so... White feels so necessary sometimes because of white Albaz and playing through Nib. Yeah, it's just like way too free with white Albaz. Is Regained worth it with the new Synchro? It's definitely like something to consider. I think like you should consider if maybe you're running like a pile build or more of a Synchro based build. Soul Meta 18, I got first place with Branded Despia 40. I pulled a Starlight, Dracotel, Frixel, OTS, Ketu. Yo, good job, Soul Meta. Good job, dude. I think that's telling you to play Branded Dracotel. One Piece TCG has the best relation between simplicity and required skill. Yeah, I remember playing One Piece and like it was so easy to pick up, which I really appreciated, but still seemed like it had a lot of depth. As every new Yu-Gi-Oh player, I'm inclined to Genesis format. That's cool that as a new Yu-Gi-Oh player, you already know what Genesis is and like that's something that you see that you can play. I do recommend Genesis a little bit for sure. I just think like it's so much like Modern that you might as well just play Modern on some level. I just think it's like more free with what you play in that format. Like you can get really away with anything. If you're enjoying the stream, drop a sub and help hit the goal, and don't forget to like. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Sonic. Maybe you don't need Foolish as Goldsark does both Tragedy Mercurier. Yep. I mean, I think I don't need the Foolish, yeah. I think Foolish is kind of a shit card anyway and branded a lot of the time. Hand traps are without doubt the design choice I dislike the most of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. I mean, people argue it's like the interactivity of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is what is the good part, but the thing is we still have interactivity in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like it's like the back and forth, and like for some reason the back and forth in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like hand trap wars, which is like, in my opinion, the most boring back and forth Yu-Gi-Oh! Has ever had. So this is really... Hand traps have been around for a while though. Like I don't think hand traps are necessarily an issue in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just when like everyone's forced to run 20 of them and 40% of games are resolved around the hand trap minigame. Oh, did your Fua get ashed? Do you get drolled on your Fua? Like, does your opponent have like a board that the non-engine in your hand does not give a fuck about, right? What's up, Woof Woof Doggo aka Malice Gang in the chat? Not a hater at all, just saying. No, that's interesting perspective as someone who's a new Yu-Gi-Oh player, because I think like it's something that is becoming a sticking point in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. The fact that like hand traps are just so determinative over the game, and the hand traps are like a good, once again in my opinion, like a healthy necessary part of the game. I just when games are just like, okay, like I just know I lost the moment I get drolled on my Fua, or like called by on my Fua, or like Ash on like, you know, my Fua. It's just stuff like that.